Welcome to the Beck-Reit YouTube channel, where we talk about growing wealth, maintaining wealth, and distributing wealth. And today we have a special guest, Dylan Disu, who is #1 at the University of Texas men's basketball, starting his senior year. We're also with our very good friend and broker here at Beck-Reit, Michelle Anderson. And this spring, I have had the chance to follow the NIL deal contract negotiations that Dylan has gone through by seeing his mother once a week at our team meetings. And it has been very exciting and quite intriguing how this is all working out, since it's really only been in play for 2 years. I myself am very excited that student athletes can be paid and that it's legal and they're able to take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. Our topic of discussion is leveraging your NIL, navigating finances as a student athlete. I would love to hear a little bit about you, especially, how you went from high school to college, athletics, where you started, where you're at now.
So I started at Vanderbilt. I didn't get offered by Texas initially. So I went to Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee for 2 years. And after 2 years, we didn't play. I liked the coach. I liked my teammates, but Texas had a head coaching change. So I decided to enter my name in the transfer portal. Texas ended up calling me. It just fit. It was just the right fit for me. So I came back here, played for my dream school. And so now I'm going into my third year.
It's fantastic. Okay, and I'm very curious, what is the transfer portal?
It's not a real thing. Like the portal isn't a real thing. It's just something you put your name into and then coaches can contact you.
Oh,
like an online database.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. So you transferred to University of Texas to play basketball in the summer of 2021. Did you transfer because of the NIL deals?
No, not at all. NIL wasn't legal yet.
Did you know it was going to be legal?
We had an idea that it would be probably in the next year or two legalized. I didn't know it was going to be that early, though.
Did they speed it up for a reason?
No. I think that it was just something that people were waiting to vote on. It just happened.
That is fantastic.
Do you think your decision, if the NIL had been in place when you decided to transfer, do you think that would have affected your decision?
I think my decision process would have been differently just because there would have been different, schools would have been offering different things from a financial standpoint. So that would have changed, what I made a decision based off. Obviously, it would have been basketball first, but then, if 2 schools were tied basketball-wise and one was offering something a little bit more lucrative.
Prior to the NIL deals being legalized, student athletes would likely select their college based on their performance so that they get higher ranking when they go to the pro sport. Is that accurate, that's how most athletes choose their school?
I mean, they just choose their school based on where they think they can perform the best at.
Okay. Not thinking about your pro
obviously you
career next.
If you play good, you're going to go to, you'll be seen.
Okay.
And play well, you'll be seen.
So summer of 2021, they make it legal to do NIL deals. What does the University of Texas or all colleges offer their student athletes as educational assistance to figure out this new opportunity?
Yeah. When it first initially got passed, there wasn't really too much assistance or because everyone was new to it. Nobody really knew exactly how NIL was going to work, how student athletes would communicate with businesses, agents, all that. So it was really new. So that first year, there wasn't really too much. And then going into the second year, actually my second semester, they passed a law in the Texas House that said Texas could pay their students as well, their student athletes. So they actually give us, they can pay up to $3,000 per semester for student athletes on scholarship. And so the way that works, you have to go to these specific, there's 2 things you have to do. You have to, it's either, there's one, they're different every year. So last year we did we had to go to a career fair. And then one thing is a financial responsibility seminar that you have to participate in and go to and listen to the people talk about things to do with your money, how to grow your your name, image, and your life.
Do you wish there was more? Did you find that seminar interesting?
I don't feel like I'm just somebody who like blows my money, so I don't feel like I need that much help.
If there's 100 student athletes, there's people that understand saving. You're saying you're in that pot. How many do not?
Oh, I don't know exactly. And when you give young kids a lot of money, it doesn't always go well.
How do you help young people understand what to do with their money? Most people, I think it's somewhere around 75% of wealthy people are self-made, which means they weren't born into wealth, but through their lifetime have built up that amount of money. And they do it through a lifetime. Okay, so years and decades of experience of dealing with bad apples, losing money, making bad decisions, making good decisions. So you build up this knowledge, this library of education, either on your own or formal. In student athletics, you, young people, are handed a huge chunk of money without any experience. And often, not always the case, that is your prime earning years. That you're making the most whenever you're young, when most people are learning how to deal with money and they get it whenever they're later on in age. So that is very difficult. And I think that's why a lot of young people, a lot of student athletes have that struggle. You simply don't have the life experience ahead of it to know how to handle that chunk of money and make it last.
Yeah, no, I haven't thought about it that way. Like what you said, the way most people like learn about money and then they make money. I haven't thought about it in that sense, which makes sense, honestly. Yeah, I know. You just have to like have the right people around you, honestly. If you're handed that much money, have to have a good head on your shoulders, honestly.
Did you grow up with people around you that have a good head on their shoulder?
Of course.
Who?
My parents. Yeah, my parents.
And Michelle taught you everything? What did she teach you? What's your most memorable lesson?
So like I had a job at 15 years old. So like going to work and making an hourly like pay, I learned very early I didn't want to do that when I grew up. And so I also learned like I didn't want to spend all my money, so I didn't have to go back and do like work more hours than I really wanted to. So I just learned that, you know, not everything needs to be purchased, if that makes sense.
That's
things it's just you could just look at it. They're not
Look at it in the mirror, in the window.
yeah.
That's a great lesson to learn. If you can just look at it,
Yeah.
you don't have to buy it. Michelle, is there anything in particular that you set out to teach him, knowing that he might be a student athlete in college and then going on to the pros?
She didn't do it for that. She just wanted me to get a job so she didn't have to pay for my gas and things like that.
No, getting a job has a lot to do with you learning the concept of money and how to earn it. You appreciate it more when you earn it yourself. And so so you don't want to spend your money. I think getting a job at a young age is something it's a life lesson. And I think all kids should do it. So they understand, you know, again, the concept of money, you know, earning their own money, what they can and can't do with it, then, you know, to buy their own things.
Explain what an NIL deal, this could be for Dylan or Michelle, NIL deal is. What is NIL?
NIL is an abbreviation for name, image, and likeness. So anything that is related to your name, your image, or your likeness, you can make money off of that. So I can sign an autograph for somebody and sell it to them, or I can take a picture with somebody, or I can like license my name, whether it be like Dylan Disu, like the camp, Dylan Disu camp, or Dylan Disu t-shirts. Someone can pay me to sell those shirts, and you have to it has to be quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo.
You can't get something from somebody. You can't get some money or like products and not give them something else. For UT specifically, I can't have like Texas brand.
Can you even have a little Longhorn? No, nothing. Let's say you did a commercial with Tips Treats, which I think y'all should reach out to, by the way. So let's say you do a commercial with Tips Treats and the two owners that are UT alumni are in the commercial with you. Are they allowed to wear their Longhorn gear?
Maybe they could. Contracts like that you sign cannot say you have to wear the University of Texas brands in it because it's trademarked. So you have to actually speak to UT before, and actually I think probably pay them.
Oh, okay.
You're-
Do you got reach out to Tips Treats? Do you have like a list of people you're reaching out to?
One of the NIL deals I've done recently is called Tops, which is the trading cards.
Okay.
So you sign autographs, you sign the stickers, and they eventually put them on like just the actual trading cards themselves.
Easy yes? Or did you say, well, let me see your contracts?
I sent them their information to my NIL agent, and I let him kind of negotiate the deal from there.
Do all student athletes going after NIL deals have agents?
No, not everyone. So it's like I said, like some of them kind of go it on their own. Brands can approach you. You can approach brands as well. What's the most famous like college athlete you know?
College athlete that I know
Yeah.
that's in college right
I
now?
don't know any college athletes.
Fair question. I mean, you are my number one. Very funny. I'm very excited about my autographs. Photo. The last one I have is from Major App White whenever he was a quarterback at the University of Texas.
You know who Vince Young is?
Yes.
Okay, so if Vince Young was still in college today,
Okay.
he would want an NIL agent because he would probably have close to 1 million followers.
Okay.
You'd have a lot of followers. But if you're a smaller athlete, then you can probably like approach brands yourself.
What if I'm a softball player at OSU that just, did phenomenal things, but maybe is not as big as you or Vince Young?
Well, I mean, women's sports actually has a lot. Like their NIL deals are pretty lucrative, honestly. The pro leagues for women's sports aren't as profitable from both the league standpoint and the player standpoint. So like they have no reason to leave college without the degree, and they can probably make more money in college. A girl like Angel Reese, she plays basketball at LSU. She has like 2 million followers. She'll make more money in her 3 years in LSU than she will probably ever make in the NBA, the WNBA. So it's more lucrative for her to stay in college an extra year than it is to go to the WNBA. And their deals, because she has so many followers, will be very, very lucrative.
Higher end. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Like she has a commercial that I literally see on Hulu like 20 times a day for Amazon.
Wow. And that is really based on how good she is at her sport or how good her agent is?
Not even about how good she is. It's about how good her name, image, and likeness is. How recognizable she is. Which also does come from her being a really good basketball player. If you're recognizable and if you do something that people like, then you're marketable.
And all your followers, too. All your followers on your social media make a big difference.
It could be said it's not just about how good you are, superior you are.
You know, how likable.
Likable. But some people on social media are not likable. Same thing. Oh gosh, Dylan Disu. Have you seen Dylan Disu?
No.
Oh, there's a lot of people that hate him. He tears up, he's a farm boy, and he'll take a brand new Ferrari and he'll take it out to the farm and he will trash it. And it is fantastic to watch. So it's quite hilarious. My husband sent it to a friend that owns a Ferrari shop here in Austin, more speed. And I think he's got like 200 cars in his shop, Porsches and Ferraris. And my husband thought that David Moore would think it was funny, and he was offended. He's like, I can't believe they're doing that to that car. So, Whistling Diesel, I'll turn you on to him. Yep. Okay, so explain to us the NIL deal. What are the different types of NIL deals? How do student athletes benefit from this?
So you have like market NIL deals where like it's third party. You go and talk with brands yourself, whether it be you or your agent. And that would be like my Tops deal that we discussed earlier. And then there's a collective. So most schools, pretty much every high major school have a collective. And basically they're independent of the school, of the coaches. But obviously like they are fans of the school. And they can offer X amount of dollars to student athletes to try to entice them to come to the school, I guess.
Let's say I'm a woman basketball player coming out of Houston and I want to go to the University of Texas. I get on the women's basketball team. Does a collective call me, or do I ask, like, how would I know how to go get this NIL money?
I mean, I guess it would just depend, honestly. I don't know.
They called you.
They're around. You do seek them out at recruiting. You would be like, can we speak to the collective?
Say most athletes know about the collective now that as time's been going on, it's in the public.
Yeah, most athletes are going to know about it. And if you don't know about it, like AAU coaches are going to know about it. And the AAU coach will like, inform the athlete about what they should be looking forward to.
Dylan, before we did this interview, I thought it was important to watch the new Netflix series about Johnny Manziel, right? Because it does have quite a bit to do with college sports and money. His was not legally making money, but
This was NIL, basically.
Exactly. It was. He did not speak to the press whenever he was a freshman because A&M's rule at that time was no freshman football players were allowed to talk to the press. My thought process was, now we've got the NIL deals, can universities put a restriction on what age you can be to do an NIL deal? Can they refuse freshmen from participating?
No, that's just like a media thing. Like, they could have that in Texas too. Like, you wouldn't know about it probably. Or I mean, if there was a freshman that was good enough, you wouldn't know about it. But no, you can't stop an athlete from doing an NIL deal. You can stop them from doing a deal with the collective, but that would probably stop. That would hurt them in recruiting from getting like high 5-star like freshmen that probably one and dones. That would stop your school from getting them. If you're saying like, no, you can't talk to the collective until you're X amount of years old or X amount of years here. So you can't stop somebody legally from doing NIL, especially if it's on the open market.
Making the most out of taxes, LLCs, and savings.